What are your suggestions? What should we do? Currently, only 5 in the room. Okay, we have a 6-1. So we have waited for 12 minutes already. What are your suggestions of our way forward?
Hi, Daniel. How many are we supposed to be?
All the participants, I think, are over 20 in the course.
Over 20. So there's no one joining behind Team Namibia and Mozambique. Are they no? Are they not joining as a team?
I see Team Yan. Are they okay? They are joining as a team.
I don't know. Maybe you can ask them.
Team Yan, are you a team or you are one person? And then there's also Moz handling. How many are you there? Yes.
Morning, everyone. At the moment, it's me. I believe Miss Olivia already gave her apology. She is traveling today, so she's on the road. With Vivian, I will communicate with her now if she's able to join, because she's on the other side of the town on a training. I'll follow up with her now. But currently, right now, I'm alone here.
Okay.
All right.
I guess we should start. Okay. So you are welcome to this session. Okay. There are just a few things I would like us, first of all, to look at. One, I would like to hear from you your experience with the orientation. The orientation was supposed to be 1 week, but I think we started a little early, to the course. Then, so within the orientation to the course, I think there was 4 activities to be done.
You're breaking.
I'm breaking.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Maybe my internet is breaking. Am I still breaking?
No, you're clear now.
Okay. So then we had the beginning survey, reflective journal. Okay. So in the first part, I would like to hear from you what were experiences, concerns, sent out key results of the survey we did, the analysis. So I want to hear from you survey results. What key things are coming out for you? Of course, it has a lot of implications on young Africa. It has a lot of implications on how we intend to move forward. It also, of course. So I would love to hear from you first, okay, about your key takeaways. Then I will express also my key takeaways, what I picked from the survey. Then lastly, would look at the work in the next module, okay? The first week was orientation. Now the course starts this week. And the first module is Introduction to the e-learning platform. It is going to take us 2 weeks. Now, when you check in your course page, I have made visible the work we have to do for this week. The work for next week is not yet visible. So I will give you some guidance on how to go through this week's work. So those are the 3 things we really would like you to look at. Hear from you, then we together look at the results of the survey, what are its implications, then I give you some guidance on the work for this week. Okay, so on your side, okay, you can mute and reflect. What are your reflections, questions, concerns, okay, suggestions arising from the orientation week? Please, I'm waiting to hear from you. Okay, you unmute and then you make your suggestions or queries. Eileen, you have something?
No, I have nothing. For me, I think the course was straightforward. So I don't have any questions or issues.
Anybody else?
For me as well, I didn't have any challenges. Like Irene said, I think it's so far so good. It's straightforward. The instructions are clear, and it's easy to follow.
Okay.
Sorry, I can also add. I was on the line with the inquiry. With me, I can say the whole guidance in how to use the platform. For me, it was also quite clear for me. I believe last year when we were piloting, also doing it with the students, I just noticed that perhaps I just struggled because I was trying to look for the capacity building, and only when Irene directed me that I should just reach out to Mr. Daniel, so that is when I could really see that capacity building. So the other past days I was like, where is the capacity building? Where was it? But yeah, I got my way around it. The introduction was very clear, and then also on journaling my way as I go through the platform. So I had no struggles at all. I believe it will also be very clear if we keep it that simple also and very guiding to do well.
Okay. Anybody else? Richard, did you have anything to say?
Daniel, for now, no.
Okay. So then we can move to the next item, okay? Which is really reflecting on the results of the beginning of course survey. I sent this one to all of you in the morning, but I'm going to share my screen Let me share my screen. Are you able to see this? What do you see on my screen? On the screen?
It is showing the results.
Are you able?
I've got
Okay,
the
fine.
challenge.
Okay. So I tried to pick from the analysis. Okay, maybe let me just go into the course and see. So for instance, as a facilitator in this course, okay, and other people who have at least the role of manager, I think also Irene, you were able to see the analysis on, okay, in your course page, but let me just go there. So for you as students, you really don't see this analysis, but the teachers and the facilitators who facilitate the course should be able to view the analysis of the survey. And when you get to the analysis of the survey, this is what came out. Okay. So in terms of those questions where you had to choose, it was drawing the graphs. Okay, for instance, like if I take this one here, question 12, if you say students in an online environment, okay, there are 7 people who said they are somehow confident. One person said not very confident. You find 5 said very confident, and so on. So you get the analysis of the survey. Now the tool which is used within the course, I would show you the tools. We call it feedback, okay? So one of the tools within the course, I would indicate where it is. We have a feedback tool. Which feedback tool you can use to get, if you want, and I think for every course we should have, before people begin the course, okay, we should have a beginning of course survey, which is the baseline for the course. And then at the end, we should have an end of course survey. Okay, from that one, you should be able to get what has been the impact of the course. Okay, so when you get down, now there are questions. Okay, you could even, the tool can give you more details if you can't read the graph properly. You can show the chart data, okay, which is really where it indicates, like for this one here, what is your biggest expectation for this course? You say to gain a comprehensive understanding of the YA e-learning platform. The responses were 10 and calculates the percentage, okay? Then when you get to the open-ended questions where you had space to type, okay, it would indicate the responses of the people. So that's how, when you use that tool properly, that is what you get. So let me stop sharing this. Let me go back to, I am back to the Word document. Are you seeing the Word document?
Yes,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yes. Okay. So because, okay, most of you, or because the students don't have access to this tool, okay, and most of the participants within this course are students, but after next week, after week 3, you are going to be elevated to the level of a teacher. So what you'd be seeing on your course page is going to be different. Now, because most of you with your current role of a student couldn't see this, so that's where I just picked that information, okay, which is in the Word document from that analysis, okay, and so I guess you have looked at those other percentages from the document which I have sent you, and there are also issues to do with, okay, suggestions from people, okay, like for instance, what makes an e-learning technical and vocational education and training course effective? You said engage, interactive and engaging content, immediate feedback to assignments, peer-to-peer learning and knowledge sharing in the forums, hybrid courses, environment for participants, structured courses with clear learning outcomes to provide a sense of direction. You talked about flexible, independent learning, regular live check-in of the participants. Like now, every week, what we are doing now is assessment to make the students pay more attention to what they are reading, learning, or watching. Group projects where learners can work as a team to learn from one another, create practical-based assignments, use instructional videos to demonstrate practical procedures, access to good internet, prepare. It should be proper preparations. Piloted, tested, and ready to use platforms, competence-based. Okay. Then you talked about e-learning platform should be usable and accessible. Some course should be able to be done offline. Then the other open, oh, sorry. Let me shift to another internet connection here. Sorry, this one looks to be unstable. Do you hear me? Or I shifted to another internet connection?
You're loud and clear, Daniel.
Okay. Then there was another question where we were saying, what specific skills and knowledge are you hoping to gain from the course? And this is what came out, being into the design and the development of the e-learning platform, internet researching skills, ability to facilitate, activate courses in online environment, how to interact and provide guidance to online learners, how to create the grading loop for all the assessment those in creating course materials, by a center, learning timetables. Then let's get on. Right, how to mark and grade assignments of the students, how to back up the uploaded courses, how to translate courses in other languages. Okay, you want to be able to facilitate online courses in a TVET environment, how to submit assignments, timely, how to make it timely. You want to gain timely communication skills, managing, administering the e-learning platform, skills to navigate and use the platform system and debate tool, how to interact with the learners and provide guidance to the students during the course, how to create interactive content. Okay. And then there's also, because content, interactive content doesn't necessarily mean to be audiovisual. Okay. You could have interactive word content, text content, but there's also interactive and engaging audiovisual. Then the other open question was on suggestions, concerns for success. Okay. So this is what you suggested. If this is going to succeed, that course material should be downloadable for offline reading. Okay. Then participants should receive certificates upon successful completion of this course. We should consider the visual appearance of the course environment, consider making the visual appearance of the course environment more appealing for the course. Okay, maybe I don't understand. Okay, it could have been, maybe we need to specify, make the course more interactive through the use of videos, audios. Then there was put a translator to help those who are not conversant with English or to other languages. There's need to make the registration process easier, especially knowing that some of our students are not able to use gadgets. There was accreditation issues. Then one was asking what would be the value of the certificate that would be obtained. Then Young Africa targets vulnerable young people. Will they manage to navigate the system or afford to get the devices so that they can use so that they can use for interaction. Activate e-learning platform being ready. Okay. So, okay. So having read through the survey and even what you have, that's what came up. The survey can only be good as us who generated it, all of us generated it. Okay, and I think we are given an opportunity to put our voice to the development of this platform. So I want to hear from you. What were your, sorry, again, and were from the key results of the survey? Can you unmute and then you? Hello? I'm sorry, my internet had gone off. I've changed it to another connection. Do you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
I
Daniel.
hear you.
Okay. So it went off when I had passed the mic to your side. Okay. So what is really coming out for you as coordinators, as administrators, as M&E personnel, or as Young Africa in general? Okay. What is coming out of this baseline survey for the course? What do you think you need to, where you need to pay attention? Okay, what advice would you give to the people who are putting up the platform, okay, the courses and so on? Anyone can start.
Okay, I think I can start. Based on what I've also been reading from what also came out from our feedbacks, I can agree to say that on the part of showing a little bit more visual would really be more helpful for our platform, because people relate better also when they can see visual pictures, visual videos, or anything that's visual, anything to aid their understanding and increase their better relation to the content that is being put out there for them. Another one, I think, on the, is it like not really the language, but I could also add that perhaps we can also have one where it can read out, or maybe audios. Yeah, audios, not necessarily like videos, but just an audio. At some of the parts, audio will also do. I think those are my few things.
We need feedback from the others. Irene, you have any feedback? Mose team, do you have any feedback? Hello? Richard, do you have any feedback?
Thank you, Daniel. I could just make some comments on individual points, questions you've raised, you have outlined for them to answer. That's okay. Number two, the question was, how will you rate your current level of experience with Moodle or other e-learning platform? Most of them say intermediate. That's about 46%. Then there's beginners of 23. Advanced only 15.2. So based on this, it will mean that most of them, from what I see, need more support. Maybe I could, if you don't mind, I could just ask them, based on this particular number 2, what does it actually mean for the participants? Do they see a need to maybe have more face-to-face support, as I seem to suggest? Okay, that is just my thought on it. Number 3, that what motivated you to enroll in this course? Over 53% say to improve their skills in online course design. Then 46 talked to learn more about Young Africa. My personal conclusion from this is that we have a highly motivated team that wants to learn and improve their skills, which I think is something very, very good and encouraging. I also looked at number 5, that how do you currently integrate technology into your teaching or course design. Now here, up to over 53, actually 53.9% said, I occasionally use digital tools as supplements. 23% said rarely. And then 7.7% said, I have not yet integrated. So to me, it means most of them have not used technology so much for to integrate. So I'm wondering what this implication means. Does it mean people need more face-to-face support? Because I imagine if you have not been using technology so much, I'm thinking that you may have challenges online. You may need it more face-to-face. However, I'll leave it to the participants maybe to answer that. If anybody can answer that, I'll be happy. Number 6 says, what do you perceive as the biggest challenge of implementing e-learning in TVET? Almost 70% said lack of technology infrastructure like computers, smartphones, and internet. I find this very serious, given that we seem to have people who are highly motivated, and yet we're seeing lack of equipment. It's now ringing in my mind. There are probably plans of young Africa to deliberately take steps to equip the institutions, or for the people personally to see how to, you know, empower themselves in terms of having access to technology or owning them themselves, because I see that a big issue there. Number 7 says, how do you expect this course to impact your approach to TVET course design and training? Up to 61% said significantly transform my approach. 23 said enhance my existing methods with new insights. Then 15% said I'm not sure yet, and 0 said offer a few useful tips. What I'm seeing is, again, a strong desire to improve and transform professionally, which I find, again, very, very encouraging. So I may not, okay, number 13, it says that, what do you think is the most effective way to assess students' learning in an online TVET course? 0 were in support of traditional quizzes and exams. Over 75%, actually 76% said practical assignments and projects. And then when it comes to peer assessment and review, it was 0. And then 23% talked of participation in discussions and activities. I find something very encouraging. It seems to indicate that in Malawi, maybe, okay, wherever the people participating in this thing come from, it gives an idea that competence-based curriculum and teaching seem to have taken root in the areas where they are, which I find something very encouraging. There's that move away from the traditional way of teaching, and it seems to have come to accept and embrace competence-based learning. But I'll be happy to have that confirmation from the participants. And then 14 says, how important is mobile access to e-learning materials for you and your students? Over 90% say extremely important. So what I see is there's high approval for rating for mobile learning, which again, I find very encouraging. So those are my observations, Daniel. On a whole, I see that there's high drive to really embrace technology. There's high drive to go to embrace, or actually people have embraced the competence-based learning, which I find very positive. But again, it seems there's a need to empower people by having access to, or maybe even owning the required technology for them to be able to participate. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person? Irene, do you have, okay, what is standing out for you as the coordinator of this project from the from the beginning of course survey.
Then as she processes, maybe what I can take note of is the number of participants. There are
Sure, you do that. Okay. So anybody else who has something, what is coming out from the baseline, from the beginning of course survey?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you.
Okay, Honest from Zambia. Hello.
Hello. I
Okay,
hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Though I had a bit of a challenge with the network here, but I was able to join in. I think from the few things that I've heard that people are saying, like on my own, from my end, I think one of the things that I observed is that these online from the survey, what I noticed is that it's something that gauge the knowledge of maybe the participant on how much you understand the program and how much you are able to participate from that end. And of course, the other thing is that I've also learned that from the survey that mostly it for online learning needs to be more interactive for people to freely participate, and so that the learners may not miss the points as you learn. So those are some of the things that I noticed from the survey, and of course just getting to know how to maneuver around the online learning, basically those. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Anybody else who has something to say? Chere, you are taking care of what is coming up in the chat room.
let me see the latest. I saw some postings.
Okay, as you do that, let me share what came out for me. Okay. And some of the things which I think we need to take care of. Do you see my Word document?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So when I tried to look at the results, quite a number of things came out for me. One was about half of the course participants, that was 46.2%, in the course rate their current experience with Moodle and other e-learning platform as intermediate. Okay, now why the question was asking their experience in Moodle. It was because this e-learning platform, the Young Africa e-learning platform, is based on a Moodle learning management system. Okay, so if one has already some experience in a Moodle learning management system, he would find this one very easy. Okay, because apart from the few customization that this thing is here, then it is there, most of the functions and functionalities in Moodle, any Moodle learning management system, they are the same. They are only in different locations. And you'd find that most of the universities and so on use a Moodle learning management system. Okay. The other bit was other e-learning platforms. Okay. Now, our first task when we are given, I think, within our contract, our first assignment was to review, okay, the existing platforms which were used by different Young Africa centers and so on, okay? And some of them were not, okay, because we would ask, yes, can you give us logins into these platforms, okay? And we really found, I remember some of them were just like Google Meet, okay? Wika, just video, okay? Video platforms and Zoom and so on. Those are the platforms which many people may be talking about, okay? And this platform is totally different from those. So from my perspective, having done some work to review, okay, what platforms Young Africa was using, I don't take so much this intermediate level. I don't give it so much weight, okay, because this platform is totally different from most of them, okay, from Google Meet, from Microsoft Team, and so on and so on. So if the question, for instance, had only stopped at their current experience with the Moodle e-learning platforms, then I would take this percentage of 46.2 at intermediate level more seriously. Then the other thing which came out for me, okay, that the two biggest motivations for participants in enrolling in the course are to improve their skills in the online course design and delivery, and then two, to learn more about the e-learning platform functionalities, which was 46.2. I really think that it is extremely important. The second one is extremely important, okay? We as the consultants, we have put up this platform. The platform is really complex and there are so many functionalities within the platform, okay? So in fact, I would have expected, like the 46.2%, I think is good, but I think it should be much higher, okay? Because if you don't know how to use the functionalities, then it would be impossible to implement the e-learning using the platform. Then three, okay, over half of the course participants, 53.9, have never designed or delivered an e-learning or branded course, okay? So that one really gives it to us that one, we need, and if you have checked about the course, I think around week 5, week 6, okay, that is where we have areas where you'd be designing some of these courses and building up the courses. So some component is going to be put in this course, but this is just an 8 weeks course. So again, Young Africa, even beyond this course, will have to plan, okay? How do you build the capacity of the coordinators? How do you build the capacity of the trainers to design, to deliver? Because they are not only going to be delivering, okay? I know within our assignment, we have about 14 courses to deal with, Okay, there would be new courses. I think you deliver over 43 courses. Okay, so it is extremely important to plan even beyond this training we are going to give to the trainers and so on, for Young Africa to train for further capacity building in that area. Okay, number 4, about 1/3 of the participants, okay, 30.8% rarely or never use technology in their teaching. Again, that gives you also a starting point. The trainers we are going to train, okay, in 8 weeks, the training won't be really enough. Okay, so there's really need to promote the use of technology in the delivery of the courses. Good enough, some of your centers have got, I think, an ICT component. Okay, and maybe from what I have seen, you have training students in Microsoft Office. Maybe those centers also need to have a program, technology capacity building program for the staff, for the coordinators, for the trainers. Okay, if we are going to have, you are going to have successful implementation of e-learning. Okay. Then number 5, what came out for me from number 5 was that most participants perceive lack of technology infrastructure like computers, smartphones, internet as the biggest challenge of implementing e-learning in TVET courses. Okay. Surprisingly to me, only 7.7% of the participants perceive resistance to change as the biggest challenge. Okay. Only 7.7% of the participants perceive ensuring quality and effective online training as the biggest challenge. And only 15.4% perceive lack of skills in e-learning course design and delivery as the biggest challenge. Okay. Now, I want to share my experience with the some of the e-learning consultants we have done. Okay. From the surface, you really find that people look at the technology, just the technology. Okay. And say, if we have this technology there, if we had smartphones, if we had computers, if we had this, then I think everything is going to be smooth. In my view, technology is the easiest to solve. Okay, because there you really just need to go and buy. Okay, if you are just saying centers, you can write a proposal, then you get funding and you equip the centers with. So yes, it is a challenge, but out of all of those, that is the easiest to solve. Okay. There's the challenge of resistance to change. To me, it is one of the biggest challenges, and people resist changes for a number of reasons. Okay. That's why all organizations want to implement e-learning. Okay. That's why all organizations want to implement e-learning has to put in place change management. How are you going to manage this change? Okay. And I want to share with you some of the experiences we have had in some of these consultants. There's a big organization, okay, big institute in Uganda, okay, which was offering face-to-face training. Okay. So then they wanted to move to e-learning. Okay. Now to paint for you a picture. Okay. This is Uganda Management Institute. Okay. You have you would have lecturers coming in the evening, they are paid per hour, and so on and so on. They had very fast internet connection. They said, okay, with all this fast internet connection, let us set up some centers across the country. Okay. I just happened to be sometime back, not now, but sometime back, one of the consultants on the team. So we developed the platform for them and so on and so on. Now, when it came to, there are two things now. One, when it came to how were they going to be paid? The face-to-face trainer. I don't know how you pay your trainers. Okay, maybe you pay them per hour and so on. Now, when they asked, okay, when we talked about from face-to-face trainers who are paid on contact facilitators, the management could not answer the question of how they are going to be paid because it required quite a lot of other work. Okay. So they failed to convince the lecturers at that time. Okay. I don't know now whether but at that time it was around 2006. And that was the end of the e-learning initiative. Okay. I just want to share with you, okay, so that you reflect on this. Let me share my screen again. What the role of an e-learning facilitator is. Okay. Right. So I want you to compare it with the trainers under your centers, the trainers of Young Africa. Okay. What are their current role? How much? What is your way? How do you pay them? And payment process, whatever methodologies and so on. These are the people we are going to train. Okay. And maybe the assumption is that, okay, when these people are trained, they undergo training, then they become online facilitators. I'd really imagine that, yes, some may, but others may fail to become the online facilitators. Okay. So, for instance, the responsibility of online facilitators, like what I'm doing now, okay, within this course, I'm leading the facilitator, the lead facilitator. What are my responsibilities? What are the responsibilities of the online facilitator? One is to troubleshoot technical problems encountered by the learners. Okay. One can't log in, one can't do this, one can't do this, I don't see this, I don't whatever, I don't know how to submit, I don't know whatever. That is one of their roles. Two, guide learners through the course material and assignments. 3, address questions and concerns from learners promptly. Ensure no learners are left behind. Okay, some learners would be left behind. You have to make sure, how do we get these learners? Okay, you have seen me struggling to get learners in the course, first of all, during the orientation. Then you have, yes, there are people who are in the course but quiet. How do you get them talk in the course? There are people who are in the course but feel lonely. Okay, they submit and then nobody is responding. Okay, they submit good. Okay, one, we asked you to, we requested Aiden to have some people from Namibia and Mozambique participating in this course. Okay, maybe they are more comfortable with Portuguese than English. So you have these learners. What do you do? Okay, so yes, they feel, you as a facilitator, you have to see how to deal with them. Okay, when they started submitting, even during the introduction, you would see that yes, some really needed more support. Okay, with the language issue. Others submitted in Portuguese, and then the other participants within the course were ignoring the Portuguese submissions. Okay, so as a facilitator, you say, now, what do we really need to do? I hope you have seen that though in my earlier communication emails to you was only using English, okay, the communications now you receive have both Portuguese and then you have English in them. Okay, for instance, let me just give you an idea. So when you look at, let me just check the email which I sent out just this morning. Right, just this morning. Right, so you can see the first bit, yes, I have attached this in English. Where's the one for? Hey, did I just send out English alone? It should have had also. Hey, why don't I see the other bit? Maybe I will use another example. Okay, so you have now to think around, what do we do? Okay, with people, yes, their problem is not, they want to submit, but maybe they have a challenge with the language. So how do you deal with them? Okay, I will show you that we have, even now, we have a translator, okay, on the platform. I will show you that one, where it is. Let me take, let me get something here. Okay, right. So this was in one of the introductions. Okay, so we have a participant who introduced, this is in Portuguese. The other participants don't know Portuguese, but we need this person not to be left behind. So how can we be inclusive? Okay. So one of the things is that is where we have a translator. Okay. And I want to take you where that translator is. So we have, let's get copy here. Now, on the platform last time, our tech person came in. You remember, he just, for a few minutes, and we talked about this AY e-learning, frequently asked questions. Of course, we spent quite a bit of time debating around what the name should be and so on. But what has been integrated here, we have ChatGPT has been integrated in the platform, okay? Which is at this point, so that now, if you find there's a participant who is having a challenge, okay, or other people are really not responding to this person because of the language, then if I ask ChatGPT to translate this, what I'm copying here, this is just ask it to translate from Portuguese to English. Okay, I just copy the post the participant has made, get back here to our AI and place it at this point. Okay, and press enter. Okay. So you can see, okay, the introduction this person made. Okay. Then I, as a facilitator, then I write my response in English. Okay. Because for me, I don't know Portuguese. Then use the translator to translate it to Portuguese, and then respond to this particular person. Okay. Again, so even the other participants, this is really what we are expecting them to be doing in the course, okay? Because you don't want someone not to respond to you because maybe have used the English and is not comfortable with English, is comfortable with Portuguese, or you don't want the Portuguese participants not to participate actively because you are using English. Okay? So when you look at, I get back here. So as I said, the online facilitators have really to think, how do we deal with this issue? We don't have to leave any learners behind simply because of a language issue. Then they are supposed to provide the timely feedback to the learners' work. They are supposed to assess and grade learners' work based on the assessment criteria provided, okay, within the course. And each activity in the course has an assessment criteria. Okay. One of the things we have noticed is that some of you haven't completed any activity, maybe because you didn't see where the assessment criteria is. Let me go to the course and just indicate to you. So when you look at the again, I said navigating in the course, if you don't know exactly where you are, you just need to come back here to this point. This is Young Africa, e-learning capacity building, just an abbreviation, and then you get back here. Okay. Now, when you look at all of the course items, they have to do, okay? I noticed that most of you did not look at this to do. If you clicked here to do, it would indicate you what you needed to do for you to be considered to have completed that activity, okay? So for instance, when you look at this is activity for this week, there's a forum there where there's navigating the transition to e-learning at Young Africa, okay? So on the left hand, on this side here, you read, okay? For you to be considered to have completed this activity, you must start one discussion, you must post 2 replies, okay? I have seen some of you did not, okay, posted your introduction, but did not reply to anyone. So as far as the system is concerned, you haven't completed that activity, okay? For instance, here, when you look at the forum activity, one of the activities we had, welcome to e-learning course, introduce yourself. There are 3 things you must do for you to have been considered to have completed. You must view the activity, you must start one discussion, you must post 2 replies, minimum, okay? One bit which most of you haven't completed is this one. Reflective journal entry, my initial course judgment. For the system to consider you to have done this work,